Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. I didn't want to be like Peter Keating. What should I do, Howard? And Howard said, well, you made your mistake already by asking someone. But if I were to give you some advice, I would have to say, Peter, don't go to Paris and just draw more Renaissance villas. Just get a job and start getting your nose dirty in the business, you know. Now, how does that translate to my situation, you know? Just get busy and start getting your nose dirty in the business. Does that mean dive into the private school, or reject the private school and open my own school? Well, I had made the decision before the video even got on YouTube and before anyone viewed it, pacing around thinking, and I thought I just need to tell them to keep me in mind if they have a position that opens up for teaching, or to keep me in mind for some private tutoring, one-on-one and stuff, over math troubles or whatever the kids are having. The prospects for my school would have to be pretty poor at this point. You know, I'd have to be looking at several different reasons why the school couldn't work for me to take this full-time night shift job. You know, if I'm looking at all my prospects, I'm saying, I don't know if I could start the Cropper Lyceum. Here's a good paying job. That would allow me to go to the full-time job, and it does put my foot in the door to private school, possibly me becoming a teacher there, fine, but possibly bringing him in as a partner, an investor on the Cropper Lyceum would be an interesting possibility. But that possibility remains open if I don't work as their night shiftman as well, hopefully. So I decided to analyze it from that aspect. Are the prospects for the Lyceum good or bad at this point? And I have to say they are better than they have ever been before, because I've got students. I've got students available. First of all, I'm in a town where I grew up in, so people know me. That's an advantage. Well, I don't know if that's an advantage. That might be a disadvantage, because I'm very anti-Mormon, and this is a strong Mormon town. That will remain to see how that pans out. They might chase me from town, you know, in the middle of some night. They'll come knocking on the door and have their torches. But if that doesn't happen, I think that I've got pretty good prospects for setting up this school. I'm living with my father right now, and this room that I'm in is a large extra room that we use during the holidays. So it's going to be that much easier because rent is not a big burden on my shoulders right now, and the bills are not a huge burden on my shoulders right now. Some contribution certainly has to be made, but it's not the massive overburden that it was before. Before it was a question of I have to pay my rent at home plus pay the rent at a new commercial facility that I'm going to open, hopefully, all from a part-time job and students. But now all it is just keep some basic cash flow. I don't have to have too much. Now at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I have to ask you to support me as much as you're willing. I'm not saying go send a contribution today, but keep in mind your next paycheck and think, you know, you go out to eat, you have a good meal, $5 for the waiter or whatever, then you go home for some nice entertainment, maybe send Mr. Cropper $5. I really appreciate anything anyone could do at this point, because the more money that I get from you, the less money I have to earn at some other more menial job that will not be concerned directly with education. I'll be starting a young man who's having some problems with his spelling and reading skills, and I asked him, what do you want to work on? Math, science, history, literature. He loves science, he loves math, so I thought probably one of those two. And he says, no, I want to work on something I'm not good at, somewhere I'm falling behind. So we're going to start him on reading. So I'll just take some footage of him reading for a few minutes through this or that book, and I'll just cut out a few sentences where he struggles on this or that word and put it up for you all to see where he's struggling. And then 3 or 4 weeks later, reading a passage of equal difficulty, see if he's any better, you know, and then 3 or 4 weeks after that. And these videos will constitute evidence. It'll be interesting for those of you who are following the situation to see what's going on, and it will constitute evidence later for parents, and I can just send them right to it and say, go, and I might upload them to the Cropper Lyceum website, and just say, go here and look at the results that I've been getting with such and such in reading or in history, and look at how inspired they are and stuff. That's what I plan to be doing, and some menial job on the side. And I plan to be putting up some more videos. I did an hour and 20 minutes of taping on ancient engineering today. And I have probably another hour and a half outlined in that book, and lots of other stuff I'd love to do on cropumentaries. The more money that I receive, the less time I have to spend at some menial job, and the more time I can spend concerning myself directly with education. Now, doing the cropumentary on Greece, ancient Greece, which is not done, it's only about halfway done, but then this car hit my house, what the hell. Doing this documentary on ancient Greece, virtually none of that material can be given to 4 or 6 or 8-year-olds. Virtually none of it. It'll have to be reformed and reworked and aimed specifically at their context. But I would never be able to reform it and rework it and stuff without having gone over it. And I went over more material for that video series than I'd gone over in all the rest of my ever readings of ancient Greece. So effectively, I think, about doubled my knowledge on ancient Greece doing that video series. So that was fantastic. Not done yet. But I would like to engage in that sort of thing, continue to do that. So please send contributions in anticipation of videos being put up. Please send contributions if you like the videos I put up, and then send more after that. And hopefully, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you lazy putz, why don't you go get a job, quit asking me for money. Not everybody wants to open a private school, even though they see problems with schools. I do. So if you support that, support me, please. I've before said, don't send me any money unless you want to. I'm going to put up some videos of kids someday, then I want your money. So I'm asking you now, get that $5 or $10 or $20 or $100 bill ready. Whatever you're willing to send, I would greatly appreciate it. PayPal is the easiest way to send it. I don't have a P.O. box right now. It's a residential address. Go to cropperlyceum.com and you'll see something a little strange. Soon it will say Deseret Academy. And I have here the beginnings of a highway sign, Deseret Academy. It's going to have the phone number, hours of operation. And I'm simply going to be here in this classroom all day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Maybe Monday through Thursday. We'll see how it works out. And parents will know that they can bring their home study students over, and I can go over stuff with them and give them direction. And kids can come over after school. I might stay till 6 or 7 on Monday and Wednesday night or something like that, so that I can get kids that are going to school actually. And I'm just going to have office hours here. I'm going to have a big sign out on the roadway here, and word of mouth and flyers in town and business cards. I'm going to open the school. I think the prospects are excellent, better than they've ever been. I know more than I ever have. I'm more prepared than I've ever been.